Alright guys, welcome back. We just got done with the extremely annoying part in the blizzard, but we should have everything now. We got all the items, the Alexander summon. So now we're on our way up this mountain. It's going to lead us to the crater. Keep in mind though, this is the only time you get to come up here. So this actually ends up being one of the more important parts of the game if you want a perfect game. Because there's certain items you can only get here, and like I said, if you can only go up here once. It's really stupid, but if you ever try and come back here, the guy that tells you about how dangerous this cliff is, he will not let you climb again. He says it's too dangerous and he won't let you go up. So yeah, so this is the only time you can come up here. There's some important items we're gonna get, some nice items. So first what we're gonna do is we're gonna climb up here, and if you listen to what he said before, the guy that saves you if you pass out, there's these red stakes flags that he has. You use those to warm up. You have to keep your body temperature above a certain degree. So just run up to it, hit square a bunch of times, and then climb up. It's not very hard to keep yourself warm. Just keep hitting square until you get to like 36, 37, and then just start climbing. I think the max you can get up to is 38 degrees. Now once we get to the first cave, we're going to head in here. Now I went the wrong way right here. That's blocked. So what we have to do is find a big huge boulder and break those icicles. So we're going to head in here and grab our first chest, which is the javelin, and that is a weapon for Sid. I would actually suggest putting this on. I did not, but it's a double in terms of materia growth, so, and it's really not that much weaker than the Dragoon Lance. But I decided against that. And then we make it to this rock. It says push, which is weird because he kicks it more than pushes it. But anyway, that will break these icicles down here, and that'll open up the path that we need to take. Alright, now, these guys are very important. They look probably familiar to you. They're like mini materia keepers, the boss that we fought at Mount Nibble. Now there's two things that they can do that are very helpful. The first one he just did right there, it's Magic Breath. It is a very powerful enemy skill, so you definitely want that. Also, you'll want to manipulate him because he will cast Trine. Now, remember, if you did the Yuffie side quest, this is the very last time Trine will ever be cast. Once you leave this area, you will never be able to get Trine again, which is why I was saying if you want all 4 enemy skills with every spell, you're going to have to wait to do the Yuffie side quest, because as of right now, you only have 3. And this is this is going to be the last time you get to have someone cast Trine on you, unless you haven't done the Yuffie side quest yet. So, we're going to get Magic Breath, Trine, and if you're brave enough, you can morph him into an extremely rare item called the Holy Torch. Now, I did not end up morphing this guy into Holy Torches, but there is another enemy in this area that you can morph into Holy Torches, and I chose that one because they're a lot weaker than he is. Now on our way through here, there's this secret path, and that gives us our second ribbon of the game. So I would strongly suggest putting that on somebody. So it's a little tricky. Be sure that you head exactly where I went, or else you can easily miss it. Now we go through the path that was originally blocked, and you're going to take a left. It's a hidden circle you go around, and that'll take us further through the cave. This takes us back outside, but we're going to do the exact same thing as before. We're just going to keep going up, stop to warm up at the flags, just keep hitting square. So here's the other important enemy that we need to get stuff from. I didn't show you that fight because he did not give me what I wanted at that time. I sat there for like 4 minutes trying to get him to cast a certain spell, and he never did, so I'm just skipping that. You will see it later on. And once we get to the top, we go through this cave, and we're going to take a right real quick to this chest. We get an elixir. This is a good place to save. Now, most of the entrances or things that the place where we need to go to is blocked, so we're going to have to go someplace else first. And we encountered some bats here. Now these are the guys that you can morph into holy torches besides the mini materia keepers. So this is the enemy that I ended up morphing. I didn't do it this particular time. I will show you when I did that later, but the best way to do this is to have someone manipulate it. Make sure someone has sense on, and have another person with morph. And you're just going to have to get him down to as low of an HP as you can before you start morphing him. And once you start, you're not going to want to attack It's just a big pain because your morph is going to be weak right now. You're not going to do a lot of damage when you try and morph somebody, so it's going to take a little bit of time. But like I said, this is the only time you can get the Holy Torch item, and it's only by morphing the Mini Materia Keeper or the bats there. So it's just something you're going to have to do if you want everything in the game. And now here, this is where I would suggest trying to get a Holy Torch, because you're going to fight. If you saw, I ran right above an icicle. So you're going to have 4 battles with these giant icicles. And the battle actually ends as soon as you've done enough damage to the icicle. So you don't actually have to kill all of the enemies. You just have to do damage to the icicle, but you're always going to go against these bats, so it's a good chance to try and morph one of these guys into a Holy Torch. So here I'm just fast forwarding through because it took me forever to try and do this, and I still failed, I believe, on this try. And I'm not going to show you all of the battles against the icicles because they're the exact same thing. You're going to fight a few bats, and there's going to be an icicle in the back. So once you've done enough damage, you'll see that the whatever enemies you had left will just disappear, and the icicle will start to crack. That means that you have won. And then the giant icicle will fall, and it will ask you if you want to jump down. Always say no until we get done with everything. Now here is when I actually morphed it. And it'll say changed into Holy Torch. So it was quite the process, but what I ended up doing was I got down to 1. I dropped its HP as low as I could without knowing I would kill it. I had one person morph it every time so it wouldn't keep attacking me. I had one person with sense on to see how close I was, and the other person just did the morph attack until it finally changed. The icicles are very easy to fight, by the way. They only do one move, and that's it right there, the icicle drop. Now that icicle is going to fall, same thing, we do not want to jump down. We get through this one, and we go to the last icicle, Now once this one falls, once again, do not hit yes, hit no, so we can grab this chest. It is the last elixir, which just means it's a regular elixir. Now once we head back to the entrance, it'll ask you once again if you want to jump down. Now you say yes. And the first thing we're going to do is head up here to this chest, which is a speed source. I would probably save again. And then when you're done, we head through this giant cave entrance. It's actually going to take us back outside. And right off the bat we get another chest. It's the enhanced sword, a weapon for Cloud. I put this one on. Now if you notice, it's a lot weaker. It does have a slight higher percentage for attack, but it's a lot weaker. The reason why I put it on is because I really wanted as many materia slots on my people so I could have as much materia leveling up as possible. But in all actuality, it's actually better to have, it would have been better to have Sid's Javelin on, because it's a double, so it's technically going to be better than leveling up 8 materia slots. Because I think it has 6 or something like that. It has quite a few, so anyway, I now came across this guy again, the Marlborough, I believe is what he's called. And this is the attack I was waiting for him to do before. It's called Bad Breath. Bad Breath does mini, poison, toad, sleep, and confusion, I believe, are all of the elements it will do. So it doesn't actually do damage, but it'll turn your enemies into frogs, it'll put them to sleep, it can make them small possibly, it can do tons and tons of stuff. It's pretty powerful. I mean, unfortunately, obviously it won't work against bosses, but it's still a nice spell to have. And finally, we make our last climb up here. And after this, we will be done with the climbing. We have one more cave to go through. And when we get here, there's this bright light. If you go up to it and hit circle, it'll restore your HP and MP. Also a good time to save. Now, in this small little room here, if you run around, it takes quite a long time before I got one. They're fairly rare, but you'll find these blue dragons. And all you want to do is just kill them. They're really strong, so you'll want to be careful. He messed me up pretty good. But for winning, you get a dragon armlet. And I believe you only have one of those right now, so it's definitely worth getting it. I think it does half, it drains half lightning, fire, and ice attacks in half that are done to you. So if you want some more of these, just run around in this little area. It may take a while, but you'll get these blue dragons, and you get dragon armlets from them. And once you to finish with your attempts at the dragons, or you don't even want to, or whatever, I would suggest saving. Here I decided to take out Vincent and put Yuffie in. We're about to fight something that has a weak side and a strong side of fire and ice, and I didn't want to risk Vincent's limit break screwing anything up, healing one, or something like that. So anyway, I decided to put Yuffie in. So here he is. What I would suggest right off the bat, steal from the right head. Fortunately, I got it on the first try. You get a protect ring. You don't get anything from the left side, but you do get something from that right side, the protect ring. So do that right off the bat. Now we can start attacking him. If you want, you can try and do both sides at once. Usually what I end up doing is going after one side first. That way you don't have two things attacking you at once. You can get rid of one real quick. And whoever doesn't have a ribbon on, be sure to put the ice ring on that other person. And if you ever get confused on which one is weak against fire, which one's weak against ice, and vice versa, their strengths, just do your summons, the ones that don't have any water or fire ailments. So don't use Kajata against these guys. Use Odin, use Bahamut, the stronger ones that you have. I also really like having Fury on, which I've said a million times. I kept getting my limit break so quick, it made this fight a lot easier. I didn't even have to worry about what spells I was going to use because my limit break kept coming up so fast. Now when you see this happen, it means one of the heads just died. It should make your life a little bit easier. And I did not want to risk dying. I always healed myself. I don't know why I didn't, but I would really suggest using Big Guard too. It makes this battle a lot easier. Now see, if I would have put my double weapons on, I could have gotten a lot more AP for materia, but I decided to go for quantity over the amount, which I shouldn't have done. Anyway, that will conclude this episode. The next one will be the very start of the crater.